everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny, and you can find me on Instagram and on Ravelry as Honeybird Studio. Today I have another podcast episode. This is episode 20. Yes, episode 20. It's going to be definitely shorter than last time because I've been, strangely enough, a pretty monogamous knitter in the past, this past month, since the last time I sat down to record a video. So I think, oh, hold on. I gotta grab my notes. One sec. Okay, I have my notes now, but I need to put them somewhere. Okay. Oh. Okay, there we go. That should be good. Okay, so, so I guess we'll start with what I'm wearing, because what I'm wearing is a finished object, my first finished object, and this is actually something that you haven't seen on my channel yet because I actually knit this probably within a week. It took me less than a week to knit this. So this is called Lexa, and this is by Hanna, what is her last name? Hanna Maciejewska. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, very sorry. But yeah, so this is a t-shirt. You can see if I stand back here. And it's got this awesome lace detail at the top here. It's I guess it's kind of hard to see because I'm not wearing something dark underneath, but you can see it's got this lace that goes all the way across. And then the back is just plain stockinette. And it's got this really nice stitch pattern on the hem. So you can see that. But yeah, I really love how this turned out. I really want to make another one. I want to make another one, but I have a couple of other projects that I want to knit first before I knit another one of these, but I'm definitely have this on my to knit again list. The yarn that I used for this, I thrifted from Value Village. I got really lucky and I got 2 skeins of Handmaiden. So, it's probably not going to focus, but Handmaiden. And I think I only paid $7 for the 2 skeins, $7 or $8. And it's made of, it's mostly silk and then sea cell. So it's 70% silk and 30% sea cell. And I had to look up what sea cell was because I wasn't sure. And on the Handmaiden website, it says that sea cell is made from seaweed. So I've never seen yarn that has seaweed in it. But yeah, so it's an interesting fiber combination. I think that's really cool. But yeah, so I definitely lucked out. $7 for 2 skeins of Handmaiden yarn. Yeah, and I'm not sure what the colorway is because it doesn't say on here. It just says hand dyed in Canada, one of a kind. So I used 1 skein. I could have alternated skeins, like once I once I joined in the round, but I thought that it looked kind of like variegated enough that it would, like, it already looks like I've been doing 2 strands. What is it? Oh my gosh, I'm like blanking on what it's called, but essentially like two at the same time. So 1 row of one yarn, 1 row of another. So you can kind of see, like, I didn't alternate, and this is where I ran out of the first skein, and then this chunk is the second skein. And I don't feel like it's that noticeable. Even on camera, it doesn't, like, it really doesn't look, I don't know. To me, it doesn't look that noticeable. In person, it looks fine, so I wasn't too worried about it. I thought maybe if I didn't like it, I would just rip it back and then make it a crop top. But once I blocked this, it turned out really nice. The hem, this stitch here definitely, like, before I blocked it, was definitely curling up. But it blocked out really nicely. Like, look at the drape on this. Oh my gosh. I love it. Yes. I would absolutely buy this yarn. However, I looked up the price online, and I don't remember the name of the yarn shop, but it's a yarn shop in Canada that sells this yarn, and it was $50 for each skein. And I thought, okay, well, $100 to make another one of these in that exact yarn is a bit much for me at the moment, because I'm honestly trying not to buy yarn right now. I'm trying to use up what I already have. But yeah, so anyway, so this is my, what I'm wearing in my first finished object. And let's see, the next finished object I have is, oh wait, okay, so that was what I'm wearing. So let's go like officially into my finished objects. Okay, so, oh, okay, I have to preface this with, the knitting on these is, like, the knitting is done. I like literally just finished this today, or some of, anyways, I haven't woven in the end. Okay, let's just get into it. So my first finished object is the Boho style Mosaic cardigan, and that is by Irene. And this is, don't mind the ends. I started weaving in the ends, but I just didn't have enough time this morning to get them all weaved in. So there's quite a few hanging out, like, because the color changes, there's quite a few ends in there. But yeah, so this is the cardigan, and the yarn that I used is Loops and Threads Impeccable, so it's 100% acrylic. This I'm making for my younger sister. I figure what I'm going to do is once I weave in the ends, I'm going to throw it in the washer and dryer, because in my experience, with acrylic yarns in any case, I tend to just throw them in the wash and then throw them in the dryer, and they seem to turn out like, I wouldn't say like drapey, but certainly drapier than what it is like right now. So let me just get this in the picture. So you can see the mosaic motif is on the bottom hem, and then it's on the arms, and then it's got this just garter stitch shawl collar. So what I'm going to try to do, what I'm hoping to do in any case, is before I edit this video, once I have the ends woven in, I'm hopefully going to finish, okay. Before I finish editing this video, I want to have this completely done, washed and dried, and then take some pictures. And so if I do that, I'll insert some pictures here, or on the screen in any case. But if I don't, then I'm very sorry. But yeah, I think what I'm going to try and do is just like delay editing until I have this done. So yeah, I tried to keep track of how much yarn I used. I ended up only needing one ball of this dark gray, but I think I ended up using 3 balls, if not I think I just barely dipped into the 4th one for the light gray, and then I only needed 1 ball of the dark blue and 1 ball of the light blue, and I have a lot, like I have quite a bit left over of the blues. I have very little left over of the dark gray. And then, I pretty well have like 1 full ball, or almost a full ball left of the gray. So I'm not sure if it was 3, it might have just been, probably like 3 or so, 3 balls, and then the 4th ball I still have quite a bit left on. But yeah, so that is the boho style mosaic cardigan. That's my first finished object. That's technically not like 100% finished, but it's gonna be there. It's gonna be there by the time I edit this. But yeah. Okay, so the next finished object, I did weave in the ends, but I haven't blocked it yet because it's acrylic, so it's gonna go in the washer with the cardigan. So this is my Birkeland shawl. Oh, it's gonna be too big to fit in the frame. But yeah, so this is a design I'm currently working on. I have most of the pattern typed up. I have the whole pattern typed up now. I just have to format the pages to look nice, because right now it's just pre-editing basically. And once I have my side of things done, I want to send it to tech editing, and then I'm going to get test knitting done. And I think I'm aiming my latest is I'm aiming for a July and August test knit, so I think 2 months should be good for a shawl. I mean, it took me a little bit to knit this up, but I know if I was to like actually time myself, it didn't. Yeah, I think I could have like knit this in a month, but then again, it's like I have a lot of time to knit. So anyways, the yarn that I used is Patton's Canadiana, and it's in this really nice like chocolate brown. So you can, well, here, let's see. So I've got ribbing on the end of the shawl, so like on one side of the triangle, and then along the side I've got this cable and bobble motif. Okay, hold on, this is actually quite heavy. I think I used like 4 balls of yarn. But yeah, so you can see the cable. So I've got like these bobbles, and then a braid, and then these like X's and O's, another braid, and then another set of bobbles, and then it's all like kind of enclosed by like a twisted broken rib essentially on both sides. And then it's just garter stitch for the rest of the shawl. Yeah, so hopefully, again, before I edit this video, hopefully tonight or later today, I'll be able to throw these in the washer and dryer and get some pictures. And if I do, I'll put them on the screen. But yeah, this is, I don't know, I really enjoyed, and I think I'm knitting a third one, but I didn't bring it with me because it was technically my first version of the shawl, so it's kind of got a couple, I don't know. I alternated the bobbles on each row, so they're kind of shifted. So it would be a bobble on this row and then a cable cross on this row kind of thing, on the same row over here. And I didn't like the way that was turning out, so that's why I knit the second one that I think I showed last time, the gray one, and then I knit this one because I wanted to have a sample in like some inexpensive yarn. I think the Patton's Canadiana is it's either $6.99 or $7.99 a ball at Michael's, and like I said, I think I'd have to weigh this out, but I think I only used maybe 5 balls of Patton's Canadiana. And I really like the way that it feels. Like for an acrylic, it's actually like really soft. It reminds me of, let's see, what is it? I think it's Lion Brand. No, it's even softer than the Lion Brand Pound of Love. And I'm sure this is going to soften up even more once I wash it and block it. Or sorry, wash it and dry it, because that seems to be my experience with acrylic, is it gets softer after I wash it. But anyways, so it's an asymmetrical shawl, and I'm really excited to get the pattern like actually finished and tech edited and then test knit later this summer. But yeah, so yeah, I won't put it on now, but I will hopefully have had pictures on the screen of what it looks like. Okay, so my next finished object is okay, let's go with another. I have a crochet project, but I'll go with knitting. Okay, so I know it's June, it's really early for Christmas, but last winter I knit some stockings for a friend, and I really wanted to knit stockings for my whole family, but I got really burnt out and I stopped knitting for like a couple months. I think it was like from December to January. In any case, this is a stocking. I pretty well, after knitting 4 stockings, well technically I think I knit 5 stockings before this one. 4 for a friend, 1 for my sister's boyfriend. And then I finally got the pattern down, and this one, there's an end still hanging out. But this one is for my niece. Oh, sorry, for my oldest niece. And she picked out the colors last year, and I was intending on finishing it for Christmas, but I didn't. But the yarn that I'm using for this is Loops and Threads Impeccable. And I've got the dark purple, a medium purple, and a light purple. And then she chose the black for the contrast colors. So it's a big stocking, but in my family, for Christmas, for all of the adults, instead of like getting gifts and stuff, we do stockings, and everyone, like, that's like the big thing is getting a stocking on Christmas morning, because we have like the whole family over on Christmas Eve, between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, depending on, because like my siblings have their partners' families to go visit as well. So whether it's Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, come over and get your stocking kind of thing. And yeah, we just fill it up with lots of stuff. I say like little knickknacks and stuff. And then usually there's socks. My mom usually likes to get socks for everyone, which is, I mean, I need socks. Like, I wear through my socks every year, so it's nice to get a new set of socks every Christmas. Anyways, so yeah. So this was, I definitely messed up the heel on this one, because what I did was I knit all the way to here, like to the heel, and then I put it away for December, January, February, March, April, and I just finished it last month. So 5 months, and I forgot how I did the heel. I know it was a wrap and turn, wrap and turn heel, and I forgot initially how I did it. So I kind of messed up this part here, because I think what I did was, before I started the heel, I slipped half the stitches, or I guess like a quarter of the stitches, and then I connected the yarn at one, like I would have connected the yarn at one end of the heel, and then I would have started doing row by row, doing the wrap and turns. And then that way I would have had an end to weave in here to close that up, and then an end over here to close that up as well, because I think that's what I did on the other stockings. I just forgot when I did this one. But yeah, so it's got a folded cuff up here, I guess. I just wanted to give it like that extra thickness. So yeah. I should say, I don't have a pattern for this. I just, basically, it's worsted weight yarn. I cast on 80 stitches. I think I knit 20 rows and then purled, and then knit 20 more rows. And on the last row, I connected I stitched together, like I folded it over and then I stitched it together. And then I just started the stripes. And I think it's 60 rows. I think it's 5 rows for each color change. And then I did the heel, and then I did, I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's, oh my gosh, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30 rows. So what is it? I did 60 here, and then half here, and then I just did normal toe, or like the toe that I always do, where it's like, you knit 3 rounds and then you decrease, and then you knit 2 rounds, decrease, 2 rounds, decrease, 1, decrease, 1, decrease, 1, decrease, and then you just decrease every round until I think I had 14 stitches left on each needle. Yeah, 14 stitches left on each needle. Was it 14 or 16? Something like that. I should have written it down. I'm sure I'll figure it out the next time I make a stocking. But yeah, so that's that. That's a long spiel for a stocking. And it's June. It's not even Christmas time. But I hope to knit at least a couple more, at least for my nieces, for Christmas. And my nephew. Maybe both my nephews. I don't know. For the younger ones in my family, I'm going to knit them stockings. Because they're fun. Okay, so my next finished object is what is this called? Rosette Drawstring Bag. And this is by Stephanie Jessica Lau. So this, okay, let's see if I can get this sorted here. Where's my straps? There we go. Okay, so this is the bag. I didn't realize it was going to be so skinny. There's actually 2 sizes to the bag, and I didn't know that. So you can either buy the pattern, like you can buy the PDF on Ravelry, or you can go to her website and the pattern is free on the website. And I just started crocheting from the first pattern. And then when I got to the end, I was like, oh, there's a second size. There's a bigger size. Had I known, I would have done the bigger size. But yeah, so this is the bag. If I open it up, you'll see like how big it is. Like how it actually, like the size that it was before I put the drawstring in. So you crochet, like you crochet the base, and then you do this like shell stitch all the way up. And then, okay, I have to show you this. I'm not, like, I used to crochet a lot more before I started knitting, but I only really crocheted basic stitches, like single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, triple crochet, like just the standard stitches, I guess. And then like shell stitches, granny squares, etc. Anyways, so on the edge here, this stitch right here, I don't know, it's not gonna focus. Yeah, okay, so this one right across the top, I think it was called the crab stitch. And I was like, I had no idea what that was. And I tried reading the directions and doing it from the written instructions, but I just could not figure it out. So thankfully there is a video tutorial. So I just watched the video tutorial probably like 5 times and tried to follow along. I think my brain kept trying to autocorrect, or like tried to like auto-complete the stitch and do it wrong. I was like, oh yeah, I think I know what I'm doing. But then it's like, oh no, that's not how it's done. So I had to watch it quite a few times to get it figured out. But anyways, so it's a cute little bag. I actually use it when I go for walks around the lake. I did make the straps too long, so I just tied them in a knot on the top here, because I don't know, I could, like, that's where, right there is where it's connected. I could just like cut this and redo it, but I don't mind the little things. But I'll stand up and show you. So it's like a crossbody bag. Or I wanted it to be a crossbody. I think that's how it maybe is shown in the pictures. But yeah, so it sits about my waist, and then like you see right there, it's kind of like sandwich closed, but then it's like you open it up. So it fits my phone, a chapstick, and my headphones, or like the case for my wireless earbuds. So it's really nice. If I were to crochet it again, I would crochet the bigger size, because once I have my phone in here, it like really stretches it out and makes it really elongated. And I think it looks kind of, I don't know, it looks kind of funny. But the yarn I used was actually from like Super Deep Stash. I have no idea what it is. I want to say it's a cotton blend. If it's not 100% cotton, then it's got to be like a cotton acrylic blend. I'm sure I could have done a burn test, but I have a little bit left over, and I think I'm going to use it as my provisional cast on yarn, because I have like a little tin of cotton yarn, like just long strands of cotton yarn, but sometimes it's not long enough. So I do have like a ball, like a very small ball, but it's probably several yards. Yeah, it's probably like several yards or meters long, and so that should be enough for me to do provisional cast-ons with. Just a little tidbit of information that I learned from a friend is when you're doing a provisional cast-on, like using cotton yarn, especially like a contrasting color, like a hot pink or a lime green. I find like the white or cream works too, because I'm not often knitting with cream color, so but yeah, having a contrast like cotton yarn, or even I think like mercerized cotton is good too, because it's not sticky. Because what did I do recently? On a recent project, I had cast on with a Corriedale yarn, because that's all I had in a really long length, and it was really hard to pick out and pick up my stitches because the yarn was so sticky. But yeah, anyways, so that's my little crochet bag. Okay. That's technically all my finished objects. I have another one, but I'm gonna put the other one in works in progress. So, works in progress. Like I said before, I've been a pretty monogamous knitter in the last month, so I've been working on like one thing at a time until I finish it. And so I only technically have like 2 works in progress, but I brought a third one just because I am technically working on it, but very slowly. Anyways, so my first work in progress is, oops, there we go. Hold on. Let me just get these out of the way so it's not in the, I haven't weaved in, or yeah, I didn't weave any, I didn't weave in any ends because I wasn't sure how this was going to turn out. So this, oh my gosh, can I get these ends in here? Okay, so this is the Gelato tank top. And this is by Gabrielle Vézina. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Okay, I just have to show this awesome like bobble and lace here. Okay, hold on. Come on, ends. Get out of there. So it's got like these bobbles and lace panel, or like this little thing down the front, and it's so cute. These baubles, this is probably my favorite. I've never done baubles like this before, and this is a crochet bauble, and I'm wondering if when I made my Faye summer top last year, if I misread the instructions, because that top uses a crochet bauble, if I remember correctly. But when I did these crochet baubles, these ones look so much better, and they don't feel floppy. Like they look so perfect. I love it. Anyways, so the yarn that I used is another stash yarn. I went through my stash and tried to pick out everything that had linen, silk, or any like kind of like more summery fibers. The yarn that I used is Manos del Uruguay, and this is Milo. So I bought this quite some time ago, probably like 4 years ago. This is 65% merino wool and 35% linen. And it's 380 yards, so it's just less than a usual, like a normal fingering weight. So yeah, it's like 20 yards less than a fingering weight. Anyway, so I wanted to try to use up the entire amount, and so I knit, what is it? Okay, so this is top down. Yeah, that's why I decided to go with this pattern, because it's top down, so I could just knit, and once I connect in the round, just keep knitting until I run out of yarn. This is how much I have left. It's like just this little bit left, and I stopped where I did because it looks like it's, I don't know, it looked like it was the right size. I didn't try, like when I tried it on before I blocked it, it was okay, and then I blocked it and it's still okay, but the size was, I wanted to go with a little bit of positive ease, so I did knit, I think, a size up, but I think it gave too much positive ease because, okay, if I do get around to filming stuff, I'm going to try and film or get pictures of what this looks like when I'm wearing it, because the armhole, let's see, okay, if I do this, the armhole comes down really low, like when I when I joined for in the round, I think it's about an inch too low, because you can see like it comes like way down to here, so you can see my bra through it. And also the length of this kind of hits me at the widest part, so it doesn't, I don't know, I mean, with the skirt I'm wearing right now, it doesn't look so bad because it kind of flares out a bit, so it looks like I have a waist, or like, I don't know, waist shaping or something, but there's no waist shaping in this. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I have two options. So I have another ball of this in blue, and I'm thinking what I could do is knit the same size, but instead of joining in the round down here, I think what I'm going to do is figure out which row of the pattern is like about an inch from where I connected, maybe even 2 inches. So like maybe on this row right here, I would connect in the round. And I think that would give me it's going to give me a closer fit as well. So I could, yeah, so hold on, what was I saying? So with the blue yarn, I would cast it on again, or I would cast on with the blue yarn and knit it to where I think it's going to fit me better. And then I think I'm going to knit it to a crop length, because I think, like, I don't know, I think I could take off like 2 inches here, and then I think I want to do a ribbing across the bottom instead of the garter edge. I don't know, I don't really like the garter edge. It was rolling up before I blocked it, and now it's not, which is good. I think it helps that there's a little bit of linen in here. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's too wide. The positive ease I was expecting, it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't look good. So I think I'm going to go with like, not negative ease, but like 0 ease. So that's my hope. So that was option number 1, is to cast on the blue one and do everything that do all the changes I want to do, and then come back to this one and tear out all the way up to where I joined in the round, and then just do what I did with the blue one. The other option is to do the reverse, is to take this one all the way back and reknit the rest, like reknit the whole thing the way I think I want it, and then see if this one, if they're doing this one the way I want it to be done, if it actually turns out the way I want it to, and then I can use that information to knit the blue one correctly the first time. So maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll play around with this one first because I've already knit it. I'll figure out what works best, and then I'll cast on for the blue one. It's, I really enjoyed knitting this. Oh, I totally forgot to show you. The back side also has like this twisted stitch on both sides, and it's the same with what's going down the front. I will say, when I do the twisted stitch, my purl on one side is elongated compared to the other side. So the other thing I'm going to try and do is I'm going to twist the purl stitch before I twist the knit stitch and see if that closes that up a little bit. Because it doesn't look terrible, and like from far away it doesn't look terrible, but when you get close up you can kind of tell. So yeah, so this is technically, it's going to be going back to being a work in progress. Like I said, I didn't weave in any of the ends. I wanted to block it first just to see what it looked like, and then decide from there what I want to do. So it's easy enough for me to just pull it out from the ends that I did not weave in. Okay, so the next work in progress. Okay, I'll do this one, because this one's a big one. Well, not a big one, but it's my biggest project right now. Okay, so this work in progress, this is my Hitofude cardigan, and this is by Hiroko Fukatsu. Let me just get this yarn out of here. Okay, so the last time I showed this, it was still like a rectangle, and since then I have done the I guess like it had a provisional cast on, and then you fold it and pick up stitches, and it's really cool. Like, this whole design is really cool. If you had one piece of yarn long enough, you could technically knit this from start to finish without any other ends to weave in. You technically don't break your yarn anywhere. So let me just, this is going to be kind of hard to show. The color, I guess it's pretty accurate there. Maybe it's a little bit darker than it is. If I come closer, it's a dark purple. I love purple. It's just, I need more purple in my life. But let me just see. Okay, so this is the back and then the arms. The arms come to about just below my elbow, and I think once I block it, it might come even lower. So when I tried this on earlier today, I rolled up the sleeve a bit and it looks fine. I think I just got worried that when I knit this the first time, it was too small, but I knit it out of different yarn. And so this time I went a size up in the pattern and a size up, like I went from a 3.5, I think, to 3.75. So I went up a needle size and a garment size. And it fits really good. My only thing is that I think the sleeves are just slightly too long, like maybe an inch or two. But yeah. So, oh, right, the yarn that I'm using is yarn that I got from a D-stash. And I'll just call it Australian Merinos. So it's probably not going to focus. The light, if I like cover my face, I don't know. My camera sometimes focuses and sometimes doesn't. But anyways, I think I've got technically one more increase and one increase within 2 more repeats, but I think I want to keep going until I run out of yarn, because I think I want to make this longer than it says in the pattern. And I just have to figure out if I'm going to continue increasing on the front or if I should stop. I probably should stop once the actual increases are done, like the next increase, and then just knit it longer from there, because I think I have 4 of these balls left. So I'm going to try and, I would like to knit it so that, because right now, if I were to put it on, it comes like just about to my waist, and I would like it to be a bit longer, like well, quite a bit longer. I think it would be, I've seen some of the project pages, and some people have knit it really long. Well, not like super long, not like, what are those called? Like duster jackets, or like the ones that are like super duper long. I don't want it that long. But like, maybe like mid-thigh would be good. So yeah, I just finished, or I'm almost at the end of one ball, or like my most recent ball. So I'll be, once I get back to this, I'll be connecting the next ball. So yeah, that is work in progress number 2. So like this one I've been knitting on a lot on the road. Like I've had to go into Vancouver a couple of times to the optometrist because I'm getting new glasses. And so it takes about from here, from the Fraser Valley where I live to Vancouver, or like to North Vancouver, depending on the traffic, it could be anywhere between like an hour to like 2 hours. I think a couple weeks ago when I went to the optometrist to look at glasses, it was like the first sunny Saturday of the year, I guess. Like the first like nice summery kind of day. And everyone wanted to go to the beach. Everyone wanted to go to Vancouver, and the traffic, it took like 2.5 hours to get into North Vancouver from here. So I did get a lot of knitting done. So it's like 2.5 hours in, and then an hour back, or an hour and a half back. So I get quite a bit of car knitting done. The last finished object, or no, it's not finished object. It's not even close to being done. The last work in progress is living in my little llama bag. This is llama and cactuses. Cute. I think I mentioned last time, I got this at a Christmas fair, or like Christmas craft fair. There was a lady selling all sorts of different bags. But yeah, so living in here, you'll see that I haven't made much progress on this. It's kind of like I pick it up and I'll literally knit one row and then put it away. But I think I did one more repeat since the last time. I'm hoping. I'm pretty sure I did. But this is just a lace and mock cable sock that I've been knitting on. And the yarn that I'm using is by Midknit Cravings. So it's this, I think it's called Wine Knot. It's a really nice purpley, yeah, like her purple plum wine color. And then I knit another pair of socks. Do I have them here? Oh yeah. So I got these two, and initially I was going to knit something with these two colors because I think they look fabulous together. But what I ended up doing, what I ended up doing was knitting a pair of socks. I have a bunch of socks back here. I wouldn't say, yeah, it's not all my socks, but it's most of my socks. But I did knit a pair of these lace socks. So this is what it's going to look like. So it's got the lace, like this lace panel all the way down the front. And then what did I do here? Oh, and then on the back, I did something different on this one. Instead of doing the mock cable thing all the way around, I did this little O cable, I guess, all the way down the back middle. But yeah, so these were, I mean, this is a finished object from a long time ago. These are, yeah, I just really liked how these turned out. The color, like I said, this, I don't know how much I have left over of this, but it's enough that I could do something with color work or something. But yeah, I really like how that one turned out. In any case, I really like Midknit Cravings yarn. I'm anticipating buying more at Knit City if they're going to be vending there. Yeah, I'm really fond of their yarn. The other thing I wanted to mention too was that I'm knitting my socks, and I generally knit my socks on the Addi Flexi Flips. Let's see if I can pull this out. So it's basically like a set of 3 needles, and Addi has like a blunt tip on one end and then a sharp tip on the other. So I think it's called like the Addi Turbo or something like that. Helps you knit faster, but I mean, like on this small, I don't really care to knit super fast. If anything, I'm knitting slower on smaller needles. But yeah, so it's basically, it's kind of like a mix between magic loop and double point needles. My only issue recently with the Addy Flexi Flips is, I don't know why, I seem to have lost tension or like between the, where is it? Somewhere in here. Like I used to, I don't know, like my purl stitch between the needles used to be tight, and now that I've picked this up again, it's not tight. So I think something that I remember someone saying is basically like when you knit the next 3 stitches on the next needle, like to tighten those stitches, like to pull them a little bit tighter. So that's what I'm going to try and do, because I think if I look at my first sock, oh no, even on my first sock, well, it's not that bad actually. Yeah, so I think, yeah, it's actually not bad. So when I was initially knitting these socks, my tension was a lot better. Maybe I was holding the needles differently. The first time I used the Addy Flexi Flips, I put them away after a couple minutes because I was like, I couldn't even figure out how to like maneuver my hands around the needles. But I kept picking them up and trying them out, and then one day, I think a week later, I just picked them up and I knew how to hold them. Like my hands just knew where to go, kind of thing. So it's, yeah, I don't even know how to explain it. My hands just naturally figured out where to go. But, yeah. Anyway, so I haven't knit socks on like double point needles or magic loop. I don't think I've ever knit socks on magic loop. I used to use DPNs, and then I went to the Addy Flexi Flips. But I think if I was to do, well, no, there's a pair of colorwork socks that I want to try, and I think I'm going to try and do that on magic loop, because I only have the size needle on a long fixed cord that I would need for that pattern. So I mean, I would have to do magic loop anyways, because that's all I have. Anyways, so that's all my works in progress. I think I did bring some yarn so I can talk about my future knits. So yeah, we'll talk about my future knits. So the first knit, okay, once I finished these ones, or possibly before I even finish them, I'm going to start some new projects. So the first project I would like to knit is the Toledo top by Ekaterina Vorobeva. And I bought these Karen cakes. What is this? Karen cotton funnel cakes. And it's like, what is this? 425 yards for 250 grams. So I think that makes it like an Irene or a worsted or something. But yeah, I had seen these cakes and I was like, oh, that's quite a bit of yarn. But they were initially like $15 Canadian. But they went on clearance for like, I don't know, $5 or something. Or maybe it was even cheaper than that. Because I bought 4. There was only 4 left of this pink. So I just bought all 4 of them. Initially, I was going to buy this for a dress. But I can't find a pattern in this weight of yarn. So the Toledo top is the closest of my summer patterns to this yarn. So I'll have to do a gauge swatch and figure it out. Because this might be too thick. I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, so it's a really nice pink. And then the second project that I want to knit is the Ilene bag by Hanna Mason. And again, I did a little bit of a deep dive into my stash, and I found this Barocco Seduce. This I got from a D-stash. I probably paid like, oh no, I didn't even get this from a D-stash. I got this from a friend of a friend, was pretty well giving away all their yarn because they have arthritis in their hands and they were not going to be knitting anymore, or like knitting a lot less, and so they were kind of like donating their yarn. And so I got like a bag of yarn from her, and this was in there. So this is a 47% rayon, 25% linen, 17% silk, and 11% nylon. And I only have 3 of these, and it's only 100 yards for each one. So I only have a total of 300 yards. So I figured it would probably be best in just a bag. Like, I think it's like a mesh bag kind of thing. So, and I figured it should be relatively easy knit. And yeah. So yeah, that's going to be my second knit, my second future knit. And then my last one is going to be the Shore Tee by Anne Ventzel. And that I want to make out of the Cascade Yarns Eco Plus Hemp. So this is, again, from my stash. I probably bought this 4 years ago. And this was initially intended for a cardigan. But it just didn't work out, so I pulled it all out. I had knit one whole skein into the cardigan. I got to the point where I joined in not in the round, sorry. I joined, what is it? I did the raglans, and then I have the sleeves on hold, and then I connected it here, and then I knit a little bit, and then I tried it on, and it was too small. That's what you get for not gauge swatching, but that's okay, because I don't mind ripping something out and doing it again. In that case, I ripped it out, went up a needle size, and used different yarn, and it's working out quite well. But that's a project that I put on hold. So anyways, so the Shore Tee is a really pretty top, and I think, like, this is, what is this? 80% Peruvian Highland wool and 20% hemp. So it's not totally a summer appropriate yarn. Like, it's not like a hot weather appropriate yarn, but I'm thinking because the Shore Tee has like lace down the front, or like the whole thing has like, it's like knits and then lace, knits, lace. Anyways, so I figure it would be a little bit more airy, breathable, I guess. And then also, I could wear this through the fall. I don't know. Anyways, so it's purple, of course. I love purple. I mean, these are like my favorite colors, like pink and purple. And my t-shirt is totally out of my, it's totally outside my comfort zone. I own one yellow dress, and I've worn it once in the last 4 years. So yellow's kind of out there, but I actually think yellow looks pretty good on me. At least this yellow does, I think. Anyways, yeah, so that's it for my future knits, and I think that is it for this episode. Yeah, I guess that's it. Anyways, so yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Happy knitting! Bye!